4 years later and we're finally here, the end of a trilogy. I can't believe it's taken me 4 years to completely look at Spyro. So much has changed since then and, well, I'm extremely happy with the way things turned out. So, Spyro Year of the Dragon, the third and final game in the original trilogy. Now, there's been a pretty big debate in recent years on which is better, Spyro 2 or Spyro 3. I never really thought about it much because I always loved Spyro 3 more, but nowadays it's kinda hard for me to decide. Spyro 2 was a great sequel and a fantastic game, but what about this one? Well, let's pop it in and see how well it stacks up.
What do we have in terms of story? Well, buckle up because the literary works of Spyro 3 destroy pussies like Shakespeare. In the world of Sleepy-Time Dragons, a bunny bandit pops out of the ground with her crowd of goons, like bandits usually do, and steal all the dragon eggs. To add insult to injury, she fucking cripples Hunter by destroying his favorite hand. This wakes everyone up and the bunny dashes away. Once everything's calmed down, you realize that there are no female dragons. It's just a bunch of dudes. Where did these eggs come? So Zoe comes back to let us know that the eggs have been put on the other side of the dragon world. The Forgotten Worlds. Except they remembered, so they're not really forgotten. So instead of everyone jumping to the other side to save all the little babies, they send only Spyro because everyone else is too fat to fit down the holes. That's the exact reason we're given. Upon arriving in the Forgotten Worlds, you see that it's actually pretty nice. Don't know why everyone forgot this right. This is the sorceress. She's the reason all the dragons vanished from here. See, she basically turned racist and banished all the dragons to the other side of the world. She didn't realize the dragons were the source of all their magic.
Man, I hate when that happens.
We eventually meet up with the bandit. Her name is Bianca, and instead of bringing the eggs straight to the sorceress, she decided it would be best to hide them instead.
Hi! I got the stuff like you wanted.
Shh! Let me see it, come on.
Oh, I don't actually have it.
What?
I hid all the coke so none of the cops would find it. Oh, no need to thank me. I'm happy to-
From then on, the story kinda takes a back seat. You're still doing your main objective, which is collecting all the eggs, but every portal you enter, like the other games, have their own story going on. Everyone has a history and a current problem that you have to help out with in order to get your dragon egg.
Spyro, help! My sea buddies are stuck in a cage! Spyro, help! I'm speaking haiku and there are monsters! Spyro, dear God, help me! Cowboy dinosaurs!
The story is never forgotten though. Every now and then you'll get a cutscene with Bianca and the sorceress. It's mainly her getting mad that you're finding the eggs. I mean, her plan was foolproof. Hiding the eggs instead of keeping them with her? God, Spyro's good. Every time you save a dragon egg, you do get an adorable little animation of the baby dragons popping out. In terms of gameplay for Spyro 3, it's literally the exact same as Spyro 2. I'm not exaggerating. Spyro 1 to Spyro 2 saw a few gameplay improvements and additions, but Spyro 3 is one-for-one Spyro 2. Except this time he doesn't look pissed off. A lot of power-ups you gain are the same too, minus the spring power-up. That thing is stuck in limbo. Spyro 3 houses 4 homeworlds, and I can't believe it took me this long to realize, but each homeworld is themed after a different time of day. Sunrise Spring, Midday Gardens, Evening Lake, and Midnight Mountain. Each homeworld still acting as a safe place for you to collect gems, eggs, and explore. You retain all your previous moves that you bought from Spyro 2, swimming, head bash, etc. But in this game, you don't unlock new moves and abilities, but new characters. This is Spyro 3's theme. Throughout your journey, you'll run into Moneybags again. This time, he is holding 4 different animals captive because the sorceress paid him. But you know the drill, pay him a little more and he'll free them. Though the dialogue this time around is a lot funnier, especially the options for saying no. Not only that, but every time you free someone, they beat the shit out of Moneybags as a reward. The main thing you'll notice in Spyro 3 is that every level is very different from one another. This is why I love Spyro 3 so much. The level themes and designs are so creative. One level will have you in the skies to fix a cloud generator, the next could throw you in a Chinese style level with cute panda bears everywhere, and then you plop into a level with fucking dinosaur. And these levels aren't just designed well visually, systematically they're awesome. I still love that every level loops back around to the start so you can easily go back and pick up whatever goodies you left behind. Not only that, but sometimes things will be locked off at the beginning until you go to the end to unlock it, giving you another reason to go back and try out the new stuff. It's still linear, but kind of feels open world in a sense. You've got these big open levels where you're supposed to run forward, but if you stop and explore, you'll always be rewarded. Within every level, you'll find 2 to 3 mini portals that take you to a new challenge for an egg, sometimes multiple. It's like how every level in Spyro 2 had a section for orbs, except this time, they're all in their own portal. I like this a lot because it feels like every other mini portal is its own world, completely detached from the main level, but still keeps the theme. I really like these, they're really fun and imaginative. For example, a couple of portals will have you skateboarding to finish an objective, getting rid of lizards, racing, or scoring points. These are the ones I remember the most because, well, for one, it's on the box art in the UK. God, this looks horrible. But it's mainly because I have a lot of fun with these. All you do is pick up speed, hold triangle, and flip around a bunch. Another could have you simply swim to the end of a tunnel. A lot of them are pretty fun, some aren't so much. See, a lot of the time you'll get mini portals that really slow the pace down. There's a couple of sections where you hop into a submarine and take out all the other submarines. You have to lock onto them for a few seconds and then shoot a homing missile. These can be pretty frustrating because a lot of the time they'll just run out of your sight or the missile will just head straight into a wall. Some portals will actually have you take control of one of the extra characters you saved. Early in the game, you'll find plenty of mini portals locked off because you didn't save that certain character. But sometimes, if you know what you're doing, you can just... yeah. These are probably the worst ones to do. Not all of them are bad, mind you. There are a couple of fun ones, but a majority of them are really boring. See, each new character has their own playstyle. The first is Sheila the Kangaroo. She controls like a tighter Spyro and attacks by kicking. Other than jumping really high, that's pretty much it. Sometimes it can be kinda hard to aim the kick while moving, but you get used to it. I like playing as Sheila. Her levels are really fun and quirky and not too long. After her, there's Sergeant Bird. He's a flying penguin with rockets. I love it, but I don't love playing as him. See, walking around isn't a problem, he's pretty quick and snappy, but shooting is kind of a hassle. See, there's really no aiming, you just point in the general direction and shoot. Your missiles do home in on the closest enemies, so that's nice, but when you're flying, oh my god is it stiff. It feels like driving a car, kind of. You start going forward fast, but you really gotta pull back in order to stop. This can cause problems in later levels where you have to be precise. It doesn't help that you also have to pick up objects and awkwardly try to drop them where they need to be. After that, we have... Bentley. I'll stick with the car metaphor. I said Sergeant Bird was like a car going forward. Bentley is the brakes. He's extremely slow, can't jump 2 feet off the ground, and has 2 moves, smash and reflect. Reflecting is extremely situational and isn't used in normal gameplay. It's fun to just walk around and smash shit, but that can only go so far. Bentley's levels are also extremely small because of how slow he is. The only saving grace is Yeti boxing. Next up, we have Agent 9. Agent 9 plays like a really fast Spyro, but with a gun. He can shoot pretty fast with lasers that bounce around, making it easier or harder to hit enemies. He can also enter a first-person mode with the ability to zoom in and out, which is pretty cool for a PS1 game, but you're stuck in your position and can't move. He can strafe, throw explosives, and jump pretty high. Playing Agent 9 is kind of fun, but tricky. See, in today's day and age, you gotta get used to some weird shooting controls without the right analog stick. We're so used to using the left to move and the right to aim. Well, moving and aiming are on the same stick, so strafe a lot and you'll be fine. There is one mini portal where you're forced into a first-person mode where you can actually walk around, and here is where you wish you could use that second stick. It's kind of like playing Doom. You can't look up or down, only move. I didn't really mind this level, but I wasn't a huge fan of it, especially when you realize you left one gem in there, so you gotta slowly make your way back in there just to grab that one gem. And then after that, you'll be put into a rail shooter segment. I can tell they had a lot more ideas with Agent 9 than they did with the other 3 extra characters. And our very last controllable character is none other than our favorite bug, Sparks. See, in every homeworld you'll find these Sparks signs. The way you unlock them is by progressing in the game more. Beat a boss or two and then travel back to a previous homeworld. Essentially what's happening is that Zoe will tell you that she found an egg, but only Sparks can get to it, so you take control of Sparks in a classic bullet hell-esque level. You control Sparks fine enough and hold the shoulder buttons to make him strafe. You'll probably be strafing the entire time, honestly. Holding down square will allow you to charge just like Spyro, except you can't really attack enemies with it. You only use it to get around faster and grab keys. The coolest thing that he can do is snag power-ups. Pressing circle shoots out little laser pellets. This is how he attacks. Grabbing a power-up will let you mow down anyone in front of you with a spread of bullets, or by shooting a bunch of rockets at once. Sparks is easily one of the coolest out of the extra characters. I just hate that the audio mixing is shit. And every time you beat a Sparks level, he gains a new ability. A few of them are just recycled from Spyro 2, like holding down all the shoulder buttons to make a point at any gem you didn't get, or just grabbing gems that are further away. But the 3 new ones are actually pretty cool. After one of the levels, Sparks will gain the ability to break nearby vases and grab the gems. Then you're given the ability to warp to any previous level you visited. Thank God! This makes 100%ing the game so much easier. I hated having to travel to another homeworld just to get to one level in Spyro 2. Now I can just go straight to it. And the last ability allows Sparks to take one extra hit for you, shown by the solid glow around him. These are a great set of unlockable abilities for Sparks. And of course, returning from the other games are the Speedway levels. These are my favorite batch of Speedway levels in the original trilogy. In Spyro 2, it kind of felt messy and cluttered with how everything was laid out. In Spyro 3, there are now set paths to complete the level. Sparks will give you a recommended path, but you can finish them in whatever way you want. I really love playing these because the aesthetic for each is so fun. You can go from a regular sunny day to a location themed after bees and honey to a lighthouse on a foggy day, all while having the ability to fly and supercharge everywhere. Unlike Spyro 2, you don't have to find a different character in every speedway to snag a collectible. All you need to do is find Hunter. These are cool because every challenge with him involves you playing as him to fight back against weird alien sheep. It's pretty cool that you get to control everything Hunter did in Spyro 2 speedways. These are fun distractions that are really easy and don't take up much time. Except for that speedboat one, I swear to God that one's bugged. Now, let's get into some boss fights. We all know Spyro 1 had really pathetic boss fights, and Spyro 2's were a joke, but Spyro 3 is a little better. I like these more in terms of design because they're really creative. It's interesting to finally have a big boss that you can actually attack with something you can do, rather than using some power-up. I don't know if I really count Spyro 1 because as a kid, I never really saw them as bosses. They still acted like a regular enemy. Every boss fight will be accompanied by one of your new characters. They'll help you mainly by giving you power-ups and by squashing them. My favorite has to be the second one. Even though he's pretty easy once you've beaten him a couple times, he's always the one I went back to as a kid. And the final boss fight... Wait. What?
Oh, my mistake. I'm playing the digital version instead of the disc version. Let me fix that.
Yeah, I brought this up in the Spyro 2 video, and the problems here are worse. It's mainly just audio fuck-ups and even more lag. See, the digital version of Spyro 3 uses the original version of the game. The first release of the game was rushed out, so a lot of problems followed. For example, like you saw, the music track for Sunrise Spring plays in the final boss level. and the third homeworld. In fact, other music tracks playing in the wrong level is a common thing with this version. Another problem is that the cutscene following the third boss just doesn't play. As far as I know, this was also a problem in the PAL version of the game. They didn't get to hear the best track in the game, Evening Lake. This conversation topic is actually how I met BlastProcessor. Fortunately, the game still sold millions and all the problems were fixed with the greatest hits version. This is considered version 1.1. Not sure if PAL got this though.
So what should you do? Shelve it or trash it? Well, as you can probably tell, Spyro 3 is a fantastic game. From the gameplay to the music to the visuals, everything about this game screams creativity. Of course Spyro 3 is getting top shelf, but let's go back to the question earlier in the video. Which is better? Well, Spyro 2 did fix a lot of Spyro 1's problems and added a lot more content, but Spyro 3 just perfected the level design and all those stale minigames. So, Spyro 3 will always be my personal favorite. Let me know which one you guys like more in the comments below. So, with that said, I hope you guys like watching this video, and I'll see you. That's weird. That's my Spyro remake alarm. I had it installed after Insane just to be safe, but it shouldn't be going off. I think a mouse chewed through the wire or something. I'll be right back.
Bring him on! Oh my god!
Therefore, this is my top 5 list of characters for the game. Number 5 is Ryu from Mortal Kombat. And that concludes my video.
Okay, here we go. New area. Look at all of the gifts. Are these all? Oh, they are. Oh my god. Oh god, we've only got 7 seconds and I missed a handful of stuff.
Oh lord. Help me. Oh, it's up there. There we go. Oh, that was sick. What's wrong?
Beat him and attempt to flee. But instead of quickly and quietly sneaking away, Sonic and Tails decide to stand on a bridge and flip the fucking bird at Robotnik.